Hey, it's Drew Bentley here with Learn Guitar with Drew. Today we're taking a look at my awesome Tom Anderson Droptop guitar. Man, do I love this guitar. But first, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and support what I'm doing here at this channel. I really appreciate it. And in the comment section down below, you'll find links for my websites and other guitar resources. Okay, so I wanted to do a video about this guitar because I love it so much. This is my desert island instrument. This is my desert island object. Like, if I had to keep one thing in the tangible physical universe to bring with me to the desert island, it would be this guitar. The best way to describe an Anderson guitar, I think, is that it plays itself. If I had to say like one catchphrase in an elevator, hey man, what do you think about this guitar company? That's what I would say. I'd say that the guitars play themselves. It's true. It's really pretty crazy. So I first ran into Anderson guitars about 10 years ago. I was playing with this country band and I needed something to sound really twangy, and I didn't have any kind of Telecaster guitar, so I got this Anderson Droptop, not Droptop, an Anderson Telecaster with a hollow T, and I was like, man, this thing is amazing, and I totally fell in love with it. So the year later, I got my first Anderson Strat, and then I got that other Anderson Strat right there in 2014, and then I got this guitar in 2017. So I've had 4 Anderson guitars, and I can't say enough good things about them. So we're going to talk about this guitar today. When I bought this guitar, I wanted to have a good live instrument because playing live, I feel like you never have enough sounds to do what you need to do. So I just made this record called Bold Horizon. And on the record, it's like 70% Gibson sounding and 30% Fender sounding. You're probably wondering how I can quantize that, but I literally went in there and looked at the solos and I looked at the rhythms, and I figured out it was like 70-30. So I wanted to get an instrument that I could play that live, and then also for other live scenarios like being in a wedding band. I'm in a wedding band, we do 1,000 songs, so I could be playing Kool and the Gang for one song and then Fly Me to the Moon, and then the next song could be like John Cougar's song or Bon Jovi. I mean, I'm switching like crazy back and forth between sounds. So luckily I have this Fractal Audio Axe effects behind me, which enables me to do a lot of that stuff anyways with all the different amp settings. But guitar alone, I wanted something I could switch all of those sounds and get legitimate Strat sounds as well, which a lot of guitars can't do. So that's kind of why I did this. Let's talk about what this guitar actually is. It's a Droptop Shorty, which means it's 24 3/4 inch scale length. I like the shorter guitars better than the longer guitars. It's more comfortable for me. So every guitar I have at this point is pretty much a short scale guitar. I just really like the way that feels for me. So this is a Shorty, and that's a smaller scale length. It's deep ocean blue, and the reason I got this color was I wanted something that was understated. It's kind of understated. Didn't really look too obnoxious. So like it looks pretty basic and pretty blue, but if you're in the direct sunlight, it's like brilliant. So I thought that was really cool. A lot of guitar students will be like, I thought your guitar was just blue. They'll see me play outside or something and be like, wow, I didn't recognize your guitar at all. So it's deep ocean blue. Now, when you go to order one of these guitars, you could literally get one of 300 different colors. I mean, it's like a crazy amount of stuff. Really tough to make that decision, but that's what I chose. It's a maple neck. It's hard rock maple. They also have something called the roasted maple, which is supposed to be more stable, but this guitar never goes out of tune. Like, you can literally climb Mount Everest, get to the top of the mountain and play your victory A chord, and you're going to be in tune. Or you could go to like a volcano in Hawaii and stand on the edge of the volcano, sweating bullets, and be like, and be in tune. It just doesn't go out of tune. It's got something called the A wedgie in the back, which is Anderson's specific, like, copywritten, what's the word I'm looking for? Trademarked bolt-on thingy, which is like a pyramid, fits in like a glove, and it does not go out of tune. So it's great for that purpose, which is awesome when you're playing live or you're recording. You don't have to continuously keep tuning the guitar. Okay, so it's a matching gloss headstock with a natural satin back, even taper neck. So it's a C-formed neck, C-shaped neck, which is, to me, comfortable. You could get something like 0.30 bigger, inches bigger, 0.6060, 0.090 to make it a little bit thicker if that's what you're comfortable with. I really like this. They also have something called the Happy Medium, which I guess is what I was leaning towards anyways. The 60 Vibe, the 50s V, different types of shapes for the guitar neck. It's a 12 to 14 inch compound radius, which means it's rounder down here for the chords and flatter for the solos, which is awesome. And it's undiscernible. You wouldn't know what was happening, but that's in there too. I chose 6105 frets, which are the Fender medium frets. Basically, the fret is like a squared off thing like that. So if you get the jumbo frets, it's more like a speed bump. You can play a lot faster with the jumbo frets, but I really like these type of frets because when you play, you're in tune. You're really in tune. I can feel that spot where I'm trying to get right next to that note, and this thing, it like nails it. So it slows you down just a little bit speed wise, but it's totally worth it for the trade-off to be in tune because you can feel that fret, and you can get directly right in that sweet spot where you're in tune. So 6105 frets. The hardware is chrome. It's a fixed bridge. Now, it's interesting about the bridge. This is a fixed bridge. That Anderson guitar right there is an older guitar which has a floating tailpiece. So this is made of mahogany, and that one's older. And I kind of calculated and figured it out, and it actually worked out, where this guitar weighs 6 ounces more for the wood, but that bridge weighs 6 ounces more than this bridge weighs. So it kind of worked out to be the same. They both weigh 7 pounds, 2 ounces. Pretty amazing that worked out. So if I close my eyes and play the two guitars, I can't really tell the difference between the two of them. Like, that is a little more string tension because it has the bridge with a spring in it for the whammy bar. But I can't really feel the difference between the two. Like, it's immaculate how well they made the two guitars almost exactly the same. So this is a mahogany body with a maple neck, which is supposed to be a no-no. You're not supposed to do that in the world of tone because it's like a Gibson body and a Fender neck. But like I said, it gets legitimate Strat sounds. So, I mean, like, this is a Strat as far as I'm concerned. So the trade-off is very minimal compared to getting like an actual Strat sound from an actual Strat. So for recording, it's great to have your individual guitars that you use for your like one-trick ponies. Like that PRS guitar is fantastic for what it does. It has a fantastic Les Paul sound. But playing live, I miss the single coils. So, I mean, call me crazy, but I like to have kind of everything at one time. So that's why I did this. The pickups, this is an HF2, which is a medium hot pickup. It's vintage sounding, but a little bit hot. This is an SF1, which is a vintage sounding pickup, but it has the hum canceling. So I didn't go all the way to vintage. It is hum canceling, but it's still on the vintage side. And this is an HF1, which is also vintagey sounding, just a little bit maybe harder than the most vintage humbucker. Hum, sing, hum. The switching system is pretty cool. It's the standard Strat 5-way switching system, but there's this extra little toggle switch I put on here, which other Anderson guitars don't have. Now, I understand they have a new switching system right now that's supposed to be like, awesome. I haven't seen it yet because I'm not buying another guitar at the moment. But when I had this put in here, it's because I can switch this humbucker to a single coil, but I wanted to make sure I could have enough room to do volume swells. You can hear my volume pot's a little dirty. But I wanted to have the ability to do that volume swell and not bump into this switch. So that's why that's right there. I actually went with a millimeter thing and measured it within a couple millimeters. They sent it back exactly the right measurements, which is crazy. So there's the standard humbucker sound down here, which of course, but if you switch this guy up, you get a single coil. Now it's much more twangy sounding. If you put this guy down the whole way down, now you have a 4 dB boost, thicker sounding, more rocking. Depends what you're going for. I kind of like it in the standard position, but for Iron Maiden songs or something like that, maybe the 4 dB boost is better. The second position, standard Strat sound, it's really, really believable. Strat sound. This guy here is more like your 50 sounding pickup, and then this guy, look how believable this is. It's completely usable Strat sounds for that. And then we have the neck pickup, which is your, as soon as you put on the humbucker though, thick gravy on top of that guy. And then here I can put on both humbuckers, and then you get that, kind of that kind of sound going on. So then put on 2 singles together. On the outsides, to me, it sounds like an acoustic guitar. Now it's really not an acoustic guitar, but it's pretty believable with this instrument to make it sound acoustic-y without any switches or, pedals or anything. And then 3 singles give you the sort of, natural science Rush sound. Very Andy Summers sounding. So that's cool too. In all, there's 24 different possible sounds because of the 4 dB boost. You could take everything I just did and boost that up and get like a thicker version of all the same things. Really, really, really versatile. Another thing about this guitar is it has the Buzz Feiten system, a tuning system where everything is slightly out of tune with itself, but ultimately ends up being like perfectly in tune. It's called an offset. So I've written them down here, but Buzz Feiten was tired of being out of tune with the orchestra instruments as a studio guitar player, so he kind of created this thing which mimics a tempered instrument. The guitar is not tempered, so it enables you to have your C notes, like your C chords or whatever chord you're playing, in tune the entire way up the guitar. It's just in tune all the way up to there. It's pretty incredible, actually. So what I do when I record, I read that Tom Schultz from Boston would take a scope and make his guitar like less than a cent apart from each other and have like 5 guitars stacked on top of each other, so all those Boston riffs, it sound really, really fat and thick. It's because he has multiple guitars playing, not like a chorusing effect, but just thickening it. So I did the same thing for recording with the this Anderson guitar and the PRS on multiple sides. So with the rhythm track is a little thicker, but not really discernible, but you can feel it. It's kind of one of those like Princess and the Pea things. It's not, I mean, maybe I'm just making this stuff up, but I think I can hear a difference. So I always layer guitars now with a Buzz Feiten system guitar on one side and then a standard not Buzz Feiten system guitar on the other side, and it creates a really cool effect. So that's kind of what that is used for. So and that's this guitar. It's a great instrument, and again, if I had to have one catchphrase, it would be that it plays itself. It's the most comfortable guitar possible, super versatile. If you want to get one of these instruments, if you call the company up, they're going to be really nice to you. You'll get the guitar in about 5 months, I think is how long it's taken me on average. You can talk to Tom himself, which is great. He's told me some pretty cool nuggets of information I didn't know. And I've chatted with Roy a good bit. He's super knowledgeable about tone. He can help you with what pickups you want to use, what kind of wood, what kind of guitar. They have different models. There's the Cobra, there's the Angel, which is a really cool 24 fret guitar. All kinds of options for different instruments. I like the Droptop for my like go-to guitar, but I could have gone for one of those other models as well. You can't really go wrong. So anyways, that's my Anderson Droptop guitar, Deep Ocean Blue. My son calls it the blue guitar, so we're just going to call it that. But I love this thing, and you really can't go wrong if you get one of these instruments. So check it out. If you can't find one in the store to play, because maybe that's difficult to do, you can trust it. If you order online, you're going to get what you asked for. So I love this thing, and I would definitely recommend doing an Anderson guitar for sure. All right, well, thank you so much for checking out this guitar review. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I really appreciate your support. Leave a comment in the comment section below if you have something you'd like to ask about the instrument or about the company or anything else. I'm not endorsed by them. I'm just enjoying this instrument right now and felt like I'd share some of the idiosyncrasies of what it's all about and why I can't put this thing down. And I literally play this guitar all day. I get up in the morning and I can't wait to play it. And if I had to play one guitar, for good, I've had 21 guitars. Sold 14 because guitar players have to pay the bills and eat and stuff. But of the guitars that I have had in my lifetime, and there's been a lot for a lot of years, this one is definitely my favorite guitar. I really can't believe that something like this exists in the physical universe. It's really awesome. So, all right, well, thank you so much. We'll see you next time.